Baja, California. It conjures thoughts of vast, arid, hot, cactus-filled desert, which of course is true. But we prepare to take on Desolate Baja DA style. Welcome to Monster Energy's Desolate Baja, presented by BF Goodrich Tires. Casey cruising in the Monster Jeep and sweet Vic Curl. Hey, wait a minute! We're at the legendary Mike's Sky Rancho right now. It's been around for 50 years. We're gonna stop by, say hi, but our goal is to get to Melling Ranch, have some fun, check out the hills, and what's more fun than smashing puddles? That's what my daughter says, smash it!
Backside of Mike's to Melling Ranch, and my truck was still brand new at the time because I had just got it like 3 weeks before, so I'm kind of like scratching my head going over these rocks, and there's nothing you can do about it. I didn't want to be a wimp and complain.
We have to go right? No, you're good. Keep going. You're good.
Just more fun Baja style, right? The Baja 500. This was a section that was pretty tricky, so we thought we'd bring everybody out here between Mike's and Melling, and the stoke factor is like way up here for everybody rock falling a little bit.
Gnarly cliffs up here. We're on the backside of Mike's Sky Ranch, and it's a long way down there.
When we hit some incredible rock crawling area, I mean that was kind of the only word I can describe it. It was pretty tough, you know, for a lot of people. Put a lot of stress on the cars.
Might be a few shots. I'll think of better things. So, hey, all you need to do is put a couple rocks in. Little King of the Hammers action, I guess. We stacked all these rocks to be easier. Some of us are on 37s, so it has a little more clearance, and then they're on the 35s to the bottom. Now you can see the scrape marks from the belly pan, from the tranny skid plate right here. This is all big no-nos. Casey Curry doing some guiding.
You know, just people were having to be good team players for everybody on this trip. You know, getting out, spotting, telling them where the rocks were.
Okay, Dad, get ready for all the rocks.
Steve Oligus here from Las Vegas, Nevada. I have Team Ford down here with my family, Carrie and Kylie and Jack.
Looking good.
I don't think I've ever gone up a more rocky road in my Raptor. So.
Keep it steady, Dad.
Using all the different rock crawl modes and all that. And I will say that having a spotter did make it a lot easier, so not to damage the truck.
I just went through it, and at the end of the day, my truck was actually still fine. So the time being, I was still a little nervous.
Just another fabulous day on the Baja Peninsula. You know, it can start out rainy and cold, 60 degrees, and next thing you know, it's 75 degrees and sunny. It's just Baja. You never know what you're gonna get, but that's the best part about it. It's the unknown. We're smack dab in the middle of the Never Never right now. Little pit stop at Catavina, and to be honest, this is one of my favorite spots of the whole Baja Peninsula because it's so remote. You're never gonna have cell service. You're never gonna have support services. You're never gonna see anybody. And unless you're in Catavina, you're never gonna see a town for the most part, and it's just spectacular. The rocks, the cardones, the elephant trees, the cereos. Yeah, I love this. There are many desolate locations to ride in the world, but Baja's Never Never has a unique advantage for our trips. It has decades of trail making efforts from two of Baja's biggest dirt bike legends, Bill Nichols and our trail boss Jimmy Soanes, and of course a few others have contributed along the way. Our two heroes have built a network of trails based on animal tracks and the way they flow. Each trail has its own personality and flavor taken from the builder. Once south of El Rosario on the west coast and San Felipe on the east side, you venture into the desolate and barren Never Never. At least that's what we like to call it. True, there are gorgeous beaches on both coasts, but down the middle is an ominous range of mesas filled with various types of rocks, washes, canyons, and valleys, as well as some of the most epic palm oases you'll ever imagine. We won't see anybody, never. We won't see any buildings, never. No one is coming to help, never. Nothing. As you can see, the Never Never is desolate, but rewarding when conquered. The DA hosts a variety of truck and bike trips in the two states that make up the peninsula. Our truck trip, the Monster Energy Trail of Missions, presented by BF Goodrich Tires, consists of about 25 trucks traversing areas of the historic El Camino Real in search of mission history. Trail of Missions has a little easier route though, as there is two-track allowing access to certain parts of the area seemingly only populated by cactus and rocks. There are a few gems, however, like the San Borja mission. We've made it to the San Borja mission. Everybody's excited about it. We're here, and of course driving the truck is fun, but getting here and be able to soak in the history, hear a little bit about it, understand it, live it, feel it. And the family that's been hosting for years is just absolutely amazing, and it's great to be able to just jump into that little part of history, and we're stoked you guys were able to join us here. Take a look around, it's pretty spectacular.
All the missions just blow my mind because they're in the middle of nowhere. Like how they ever decided that this was going to be the spot that they built.
We're at San Borja Mission. This is my first time ever on the trail missions. I get to see incredible places like this, learn all about the history, and see all this amazing culture. I love it. Come on.
Came with my wife Elke, my son Nolan, and my daughter Allison. And for these kids to see how remote and how these people get by, where the resources are, I think it was pretty eye-opening for them to see that, not every place is like Colorado where we have snow and 4 seasons. Here, it's a little tougher way of life. He was just giving me a little lecture on the keystones.
So it's called the keystone, and it's the stone that holds all the arch together. Usually there's no concrete in them, and it's just held up there by pressure. If you look at a construction site today, it's light years ahead of what they had. They had hands and cement.
The kids are the best part of this for me. Each stop we make, they say, oh, can we just stay one more day here? Or then they get in the car, later that day and they start talking about what they saw on the mission.
The San Borja mission was finished in 1801. Behind it, the Adobe mission was built in 1762. The church was originally developed by the Jesuits, but just a handful of years later, in 1768, they had been replaced by the Franciscans. It's great to see all the families enjoying all the history of this great land. Who would have thought that in the middle of desolate Baja, you can find so much life? This is why I love bringing my friends down. After getting some much needed rest, it's time to continue with our journey.
The water crossings down here, they make for good times. Just like anything, as soon as you can turn into a kid, if there's water and you're not racing and you know that you're not going to get wet because your windows are up, it's full wide open, splash as high as you can, kids screaming.
Those guys all had a blast. They were hitting the water crossings hard. I chickened a little bit on the water crossings, and I still managed to suck the air filter into the air box. Luckily, I had a spare, so it was all good. I think it's time we chill out in the water crossings.
dude, it's a total blast. But yes, at the same time, occasionally water goes in places it's not supposed to. But that's why you bring spare air filters.
On the water crossing, being that I had a bad experience last year and I had to switch cars, I was just hoping no one had any issues. I was that guy last year, I can't be that guy again.
Here's the legend, Kurt Leduc. The hell he's lifting off over here. I think Kurt might be stuck.
Nobody expects him to make any mistakes. I mean, he's won so many championships and he's a really experienced driver. And then you start hearing things on the radio. We need help, somebody get a tow strap.
That's 3. I mean, that's like, gotta be the Donkey Award shoe-in at this point, right?
It's always a great day when you get to a water crossing and then you got to pull Kurt Leduc out of the sand. It's awesome.
It was a good time watching and, you know, let you know that we're all human and we all make mistakes.
Yep, it's that kind of day.
Baja is vast, amazing. It's still very surreal to me that we have the ability to make our lives about Baja. Whether it's helping the kids or mobbing 100+ miles an hour through the desert, this place is home to the Desert Assassins. It's a place I love to share, something to pass on to the next generation, the next lovers of Baja.
I told RJ, I was like, man, I want you someday to have your kids and continue sharing Baja and keep this going in our family. And I want to make sure it continues on with the kids.
I absolutely am passing it down to my boys. My son drove on the dirt roads sometime and had a blast. He loves it. Both boys absolutely love it. And, you know, I don't see us going anywhere.
It's pretty cool that one-on-one with my son. He's 12 and he's a really good driver, and I let him drive a lot of these roads, and he's doing a fantastic job.
And coming down here with my dad's cool because he gets to show me a bunch of stuff and show me tricks and lines and all the stuff that he was taught.
We've been so privileged and we want to always give back. We're enjoying their beauty and we just want the kids to, you know, show respect.
I love Baja and will continue to come down here for as long as possible. A place I want my kids and their kids to share with everyone. Thanks for embarking on this journey with us. Follow the Desert Assassins on social media and keep a lookout for the 2020 Rip to Cabo coming later this year. I hope you've had a great time sharing Baja with us. That's it for Monster Energy's Desolate Baja presented by BF Goodrich Tires. We'll see you next time we make some dust.